Hello everyone, welcome to the live stream today. I'm Davi from COTI, and today we are diving into something really exciting actually. That's the COTI Model Context Protocol, or simply MCP for short. So I'm not doing this alone today. I'm here with Upendra. Uh, do you want to share some words before we get started?
Hello everyone, I'm Upendra. I'm engineer at Stray.Koti. I'm from India and I'm excited for this live stream as MCP is new buzzword. Also want to learn something and excited to ask questions on behalf of you guys. Thank you, Davi.
Thanks, Brenda. Great to have you here. So, before we get started, let's talk briefly about the MCP. So, MCP is basically a universal connector for AI. So, think of it as a API layer that allows AI apps to interact with the outside world. Let's say to connect to database, APIs, file systems, and things like that, even to connect to blockchain networks. So it bridges the gap between the AI models, internal logic, and the real world tools it needs to work with. So it works through two-way communication, basically. That means your AI assistant can send requests to the external tools and receive useful responses. So that's not just raw data, but you can get context-aware answers that fit the conversation or the task flow that you are using interacting. So you can use MCP to, let's say, fetch real-time data from APIs, do a let's say a query, a database for some data, or even that's exactly the case that we are covering today, to interact with smart contract on the blockchain. So why makes MCP powerful is that it standardizes the context between AI and the external systems. So let's say the developers can build more intelligent systems and can create tools that can actually do things and not just chat about them, right? So let's say you are building an AI code assistant with MCP. It connect to your code editor, read and write files, refactor code, and even run tests all from a single prompt. So what makes it possible is like an MCP is providing a standard API that can interact with your code using prompts. So in short, MCP is what allows AI go from just talking to actually doing, let's say in simple words. So we are going to explore that in this live stream. And yeah, let's dive into the core of the today's session and see how the MCP can powers the AI integration with COTI blockchain. So to quick things off, I'm going to head over to Smithery. Let me share my screen. So Smithery is a centralized hub for MCP tools. It's kind of like an app store for AI integrations. It's where you can, let's say, discover, install, and run tools that let AI models interact with the real world. Uh, you can choose, for example, to publish them to the cloud through Smithery. That way, any AI system or agent can access your tool remotely without needing to install anything. And today we are going to do exactly that with the code MCP. I will show you how it's listed inside Smithery and how to start using it in seconds. So first thing first, I'm here on Smithery, and what I will do, I will search for COTI, and the first result is exactly the MCP, the COTI MCP we created here. And here, what you see basically at the left side, the tools available. So now we have more than 30 different tools that you can use. For example, create account, decrypt value, change default account, like export account, generate AES key, and deploy private ERC20 tokens, and also deploy private 721 tokens, the NFTs. So, and much more than that. And at the right side, you can see a list of different tools that you can use this MCP, like the Cloud Desktop, Cursor, VS Code, Windsurf, and so on. So all of those tools support MCP. And yeah, we can start by installing these on Cloud Desktop. So for these today's sessions, we are going to use the Cloud Desktop. So I click on it, and here you can see it prompts me for to fill some fields like the AES key, the public key, and private key. Why it matters? Because this MCP interacts with the blockchain, so I will need at least one account to start interacting with the blockchain. So we already covered how to create an account on COTI blockchain. I will do it this time again, really quick. So we can create a new profile here. I create one that we call it demo profile. And now I will head over this website here. That's just like playground that facilitates the account creation for you. That's a v0 coding encrypted message.versal.app. And then we click on create new account. It will create a brand new account for me. And I need to fund this account first in order to generate the AES key. So I will click on fund. I will copy this message and I will open the faucet and I will paste this message on the faucet so that I can have 10 COTI on my wallet account. Let's wait to load the page. Okay, here I will paste the message. So it's basically testnet and the address of my newly created account. I will send a message to this channel, the COTI faucets channel. And that's it. Now I have 10 COTI on my address. So now what I will do, I will copy the public key. I will paste my public key here. Same thing with my private key. And now that I have this account funded, I can generate my AES key. So I click on this button and it will show my new AES key for this account. Let's wait a few seconds. That's it. Let me copy it here and paste here the AES key. Next step is to connect this account with this MCP. That's exactly what I'm doing now. And here, let me zoom in. You can see a terminal command that you need to run into your terminal to install this MCP. This is specific for Cloud. I mean, if you select another tool, it will generate a different command line. But basically what changed here is the client. That's the Cloud that I'm using. And also you can see here the profile. That's exactly the profile that I created now with my newly created account, with my private key, my public key, and my AES key. So let's copy here. Let's open a new terminal. I'll probably need to, switch my screen so you can see the terminal. Just a sec here. Let me copy and paste this command line. And that's it. That's installed. Let me switch back here the screen again, because now I will open the Cloud Desktop. Let me replace the screen and select the Cloud Desktop. Just a sec.
In the meantime, you just dove in Discord, of course. If there's any questions coming from the audience via Discord, or COTI Telegram, or via Twitter, just feel free to throw them in and we can answer them about MCP in the meantime. Yeah.
Yes, thanks, Robert, for that. So, right, we now open the cloud. So, how you can see if you are connected to the COTI MCP, first you can click on this button here, and you can see that you have now COTI MCP showing here, and also displaying how many tools we have available. In that case, we have 35 different tools available. You can check that individually, like create account, decrypt value, encrypt value, export account, sign message, verify message, and so on. So you can verify all of them here. You can enable or disable each one individually if you want. Also, you can check it using going to the file settings, and here you can click on developer. Oh, sorry, probably it's not showing on the screen. Let me replace that. Yes, here, as you can see, you can also check in that option here, the developer and COTI MCP. You can see it's running, and also the command and the arguments. Let me replace again so we can get back to the cloud here. Yep. All right. So let's
Davi,
start by. Okay, go.
uh,
Go ahead, Upendra.
like someone with no MCP knowledge, the server you shows us is running. Is it running locally or on the Smith?
Yeah, good question. It's running on cloud. It's running on Smithery. So Smithery is providing the infrastructure for the MCP. So you don't need to install it locally. Even though you can do it, you can clone our repository where the MCP is where we push the code to the MCP, but you don't need to do that. You can just, as I did, copy and paste the command line, paste on your terminal, and you can get it installed and start using it on cloud. You don't need to have it locally. I have used it locally before just to debug and also to add new tools as a developer mode, let's say.
Yeah.
But if you are using it just like consuming the tools, you don't need to install it locally. You can just use this Smithery. So here I'm connected to Smithery actually, because I have here the COTI MCP, and I'm using the Smithery version for that.
So the command we have got there, and you run on the terminal. What it exactly done? It connected the our MCP tool to our Claude, which is our local Claude, right?
Yeah, it connects to the Smithery cloud, where we have the package published, the COTI MCP published. Yes.
Okay, so
So
like MCP is a protocol, so like Claude understand it exactly because they're a kind of protocol for
yeah,
MCPs, right?
exactly. That's a standard protocol. It was
Okay.
launched publicly by Anthropic, I think November last year. So it's public available, and
Okay.
that's good because it's the same protocol that work with any AI tools. We can use exactly the same MCP and work with VS Code, Cursor, Windsurf. So that's the good at using the MCP, because it's a standard for AIs to connect to and communicate with the API. It's like an API, right? But it has a specific standard that AI tools can understand, and then can talk to these MCP to request and receive responses, context-aware responses from this API.
Yeah, that's why it's smoothly, I guess, interactive with the Claude. We can see all the like 35 or 33 features, right?
Yeah, 35 we have
Yeah,
available so
35
far.
features. Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry.
And it's using our created account. I mean, we created an account to use with this MCP, but I will show during the live stream that you can add new accounts and start switching between them during the live stream. But we need to have at least one account to start, right? So we need to configure it on Smithery to start with. And it will actually set the environment variables with your account. So you can have a context to this account, to every transaction that we are going to send to the COTI blockchain.
Yeah,
All right, so
right. Yeah.
yes, let's start by probably listing all the accounts that I have. So let's start by listing all available COTI accounts. Yes, let's do something like that. Now the idea is to connect. With this prompt, Claude should be able to connect with our COTI MCP and get all the current accounts that we have configured. So this is exactly what we can see on the screen. The Claude connected with the list accounts. That's exactly one of the tools that we have available. And here I can see exactly the account that I created. And this account is the default account. So I can use it for all the transactions and operations in this live stream. Okay, it's working. Let's now create a new account using the MCP. So I will type create new COTI account that can be used for demonstration. Now it's connecting to the create account tool, and that's it. We have now a new account, a new private key. Of course, it's like sensitive information, so for demonstration purpose, we are just using that account for that live stream. And here you can see the AES key needs to be generated after funding. So the only way to get a COTI tokens is by going to the Discord, right, and paste the message there. But what I will do now, I will switch now the accounts to use my previous account. So just to show how we can see here all the details about the operation. If you want to see exactly the response that we got from the tool, you can expand here and see all this information that I got from the tool directly. So, and nice that you can see here that Claude is recommending some actions, right? For example, set new account as the default account. I check the current account list to see buff accounts, or perform any operation with either account. So for example, here, instead of typing again, I can just type 1 to set this new account as the default account. And that's exactly what the Claude will do for us. So it calls the change default account. And that's it. All the future operations will now use this demonstration account unless you specify otherwise. So that's exactly what the Claude did for us. So now let's get, let's get the native balance for this account. Because if I want to check how many tokens I have in this account, I can just type here on the prompt, and I can get now the native token balance. That's exactly 0 because it's a new account. I don't have any tokens. But what I can do now, I can maybe transfer 1 token from my previous account to this new account, so I can have at least 1 COTI to start using it. So let's transfer 1 COTI from another account to fund this account, this current account, right? That's exactly the account that I have 0 COTI. Let's do that.
So it understands human commands, let's say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of the MCP because, yeah, look at that. It is automatically changing my default account because it noticed that my current account doesn't have any COTI. So it should like change to my previous account so that this account can transfer one COTI to my new account. So that's the beauty of the MCP because the AI agent can understand what you want to do and can connect with your tools automatically, providing the arguments, the parameters to the MCP tools automatically based on the context and the prompt. So look at that. The Claude changed my default account and transferred one COTI to my new account, and now is changing again the default account to my new account and getting the native balance automatically for me. And also you can check the transaction hash if you want. Let's do that. Let's confirm that this transaction was sent to the COTI blockchain. Let me copy here, and I will go to the COTI testnet. Let me switch here the screens to this new one. Yes, let me zoom in. I will paste the the transaction hash here. And that's it. We can see here the transfer of one COTI from my previous account to my newly created account. So, okay, it's real. It's not a fake MCP. It's working. Let me switch back to Claude here. Okay. So now what we can do, I can generate a new, or I can simply get no, in that case, this is a new account. I need to generate the AS key, right, of this new account now that I have the account funded. And that's exactly what Claude is saying to me. AS key should be generated. So what we do now, I will ask to generate. So let's generate a new AS key for this account. Because I need to have balance to do that. Because when we are creating a AS key for the account, it's behind scenes. We are interacting with a smart contract to do that. So we need to pay gas for this transaction. So it's now generating AS key. Perfect, right? New AS key has been generated for the demonstration account. And it's showing me here the AS key generated for this new account. So now we have this account completely set with private key, public key, one COTI, and also with the AS key, so we can start using it for the operations. Also, Claude is recommending some actions that's possible with the MCP, like deploying private ERC20 token and private ERC721 token. So let's start by deploying a private ERC. So let's create our own private ERC20 token on the COTI blockchain. Let's say we will call it demo token with symbol demo and 6 decimals. And let's see.
In the meantime, we received a question actually, and someone asked, okay, where can I see those? Is there a web link to those 35 operations from the MCP? The ones you showed. Yeah, where could someone review them?
Yeah, we can see all the available tools. We can actually see those here on Claude. For example, we can list all the available token tools here, but also you can see all of them on Smithery. And on Smithery, you can also see the description and the parameters of which one of those. So I can show you real quick here. Let me go to Smithery again. Let me switch the screen to Smithery. Just a sec. Here, if I type COTI and go to COTI MCP, I can see all the available tools, but not just that, I can actually run it on Smithery. If I want to run it individually, I can also use Smithery for that. And I can also check, for example, the parameters. For example, the change default account, it's expecting to receive an account address, right? And for example, to sign a message, I need a message. For deploy a ERC20 contract, I need a name, symbol, decimals, and also I can optionally provide the gas limit for the transaction. So if you want to test, for example, a specific tool, you can run it here on Smithery. And actually it will work. We can deploy a token just by providing it on the Smithery playground. And here is a good way to check all the available functionalities that we have so far, because we're constantly working on it and adding new tools, right? So for now we have just 35, but we are going to add new ones if needed to this MCP. And also here we can go to the GitHub repository, right? And you can check out the code if you want to investigate more how it works, or if you want to create your own MCP, you can just like clone this repository and you can check out how this MCP was created and use it as a reference as well. Or if you want to contribute to our project, you can fork it and also create a pull request with new tools. That's also a great way to contribute to the COTI ecosystem.
I think that should answer the question very clearly. Thank you. Yeah.
Let me switch back to Claude again. Just a minute, right? Okay, I'm here again. Okay, we are talking about the private ERC20 token deployment. So what I did, I asked Claude to create our private ERC20 token using the symbol demo. The name is demo token and with 6 decimals. Behind the scenes, the Claude called this deploy private ERC20 contract, passing exactly the parameters that I need for that. So that's the real thing. It translated exactly that prompt into parameters to our tool and pass it to the MCP. And I got exactly the contract address, the symbol, and the transaction hash of this deployment. So here we can see a summary, name, symbol, decimals. So that's already deployed on COTI blockchain. I showed how to check the transaction status on COTI using the block explorer, but you can also check the status of the transaction using the MCP. So that's exactly what we do now. Let's check the status of our deployment transaction to confirm if it was successful or not. Let's see. Even though we already have the confirmation here, because we probably got it right, but here we can just get the status with more information, like the block number, the number of confirmation, the gas used for this transaction, the type, it was a contract creation. So the status is the most important thing. So success, and that's it. And also the Explorer link. So if you want to go to the block explorer to check it there, you can just click on this link and you can see the status of this transaction on the block explorer. So the transaction is fully confirmed with 58 confirmation. So it means that everything went well and it's ready for use. So what we can do now, we can start minting, right? Let's mint 1,000 demo tokens to our account. Yeah, so we can have some tokens to work with. Let's wait until the Claude calls the correct tool. That's a mint tokens. Okay, it's it's thinking a lot. Okay, we mint 1,000 demo tokens to your current account. And that's interesting because as I created a token with 6 decimals, Claude is converting, right, these 1,000 tokens, so it can pass the correct amount of weight in the correct format. That's with 6 decimals. So I don't need to do it myself. I can just ask for 1,000 tokens. So Claude already know that it's 6 decimals. Will do the rest for me, just the calculation, and pass the correct amount as a parameter to our tool.
So Davi, is it possible if we use same MCP with other tools, it performs differently? Like as Claude has processed all this information, converting 1,000 with the decimals and all. Is it possible, like if we integrate with some other AI tools, it may function different?
Yeah, I tested with Cursor and Windsurf, and all of them did exactly the same. They could convert it automatically, but it's interesting because it's not the MCP functionality. It's something that the AI tool will do for us because of the context, but you cannot guarantee that all AI tools will work exactly the same. So we need to be attentive with this with this thing. But the tools that I tested, all of them did exactly the same. They converted for me automatically based on the current decimal numbers of the contract that we deployed. But yeah, it depends on the AI. But I mean, it's most of them working
Maybe
well.
MCP is a protocol, so there should be some metadata these AI tools are getting from the MCP to convert exactly in the same manner and same parameters, maybe.
Yeah, in the tool, for example, when you mint a private ERC20 tokens, here you can see amount way, because I'm specifying that I'm expecting to receive it in a way format, and that's why the AI will convert to way. And actually, when you are building the MCP, you can add some examples in the documentation, so you can provide, some examples, or you can extend more the explanation about what we are expecting to receive in the tool. It helps, the AI to understand what we are expecting, right, to receive. So we can add more and more examples to it if needed. If we're using the tool and we notice that it's not working properly because the AI doesn't understand what needs to be passed to the tool, we can fix that on the MCP by adding more documentation to it, and then or providing more examples, as I mentioned. But here I'm adding the way in the parameter name to be explicitly my what I'm expecting, right? It should be way to work well.
Yeah, actually it's working so fluently, like I'm trying to understand how to build it. That's why I'm asking so many questions here.
Yeah, but it's like a metadata documentation that you
Yeah.
can provide those details that helps the AI to connect with your tool.
So what I can understand here, like it depends on both the tool, how efficiently MCP has built, as well as how efficiently AI is, uh, converting it into the right parameters.
Exactly. That's exactly that.
I'm just surprised that I know it was meant as an agnostic protocol, but that to your findings that it's working with different models and giving the right output. So that it's really nice to hear that the universal approach of it.
Yeah.
So
And
you
it's
can switch
good.
to your favorite, let's say,
Yeah.
if needed. Yeah.
It's also good that, for example, the agent like the Claude or any other agent will provide, for example, an overview of each operation like that. For example, it can extract the useful information and create a summary like that with this information, and also recommending some new operations like you want to transfer some tokens to another address, you want to check the total supply. So it's basically because the cloud already know about the tools available and it's recommend me next actions. So it's good because I can just follow the recommendation and that's it. So I minted the token. What I can do now, I can check the logs. So this is another functionality that we have on the MCP to check the transaction logs, just to see if the event was emitted, and we can check that by, let's examine the logs from our minting. For our minting transaction to see what events were emitted during the token creation. Let's do that. So now we have a tool called get transaction logs. So the AI already passed the transaction hash to this tool, and I can see now the all the top and also the data here that's encoded, right? So this is interesting because automatically Claude calls the decode event data, because it noticed that these we have like an encoded data in the transaction log, and automatically it called the decode event data. It's really interesting. So great, I can see one event was emitted. Let me decode this event to understand what it represents. And here I can have like the event name, the event signature, the event topic, the input, each input here. And also, as you are minting something, the from is a zero address, right? Because you are minting something new. And this is the address of the destination wallet. So you can basically see all the decrypted information from the transaction log. And here is a overview, like the event name, the parameters, right? And also the value, because we minted 1000 demo tokens, and we can check this also. And the key insights, that's cool, because you can see, you can check some explanations regarding these parameters. So that's really cool because you don't need to go every time to the block explorer to check that. You can just ask the AI to get those informations for you. So we already saw the get event logs, the decode event data, and let's check the balance. Let's call it explicitly. So let's verify our token balance to confirm the minting was successful. Yep. And just to see the get private ERC20 balance being called. So the token address is here, the account address, and that's it. My account now has 1000 demo tokens with 6 decimals. So that's basically the confirmation, just to confirm. We can also for example, ask for the total supply of this token. Let's do that. Check the total supply of our token to see how many tokens exist in total. Here I will get probably 1,000 because I just mint once 1,000 tokens, so I'll probably have that. Yeah. So no surprise here. And that's another thing that I can do here that's interesting. For example, I can approve another address to spend some tokens on my behalf. So I can, for example, I have those 1,000 tokens now on my account, but I have two accounts. So let's do that. Let's approve my second account to spend some tokens on my behalf. What I can do, I can ask, for example, let's approve another address to spend some of our tokens on our behalf. And let's see. I will help you approve another address to spend some of your demo tokens on your behalf. First, let me create... Okay, here is creating a second account, but I just want to switch then. I don't want to create a new account, but let's see what the Claude will do. It's also verifying the allowance. So once it approved another spender, let's say the new account, to spend some tokens, in that case to spend the all my balance 1,000 token, it's also checking the allowance just to check if the operation was successful. And that's it. We have now an expander, new spender. That case is a newly created account that was created now. And okay, it approved like 100 tokens, not what the 1,000, just 100. I can just use 100 tokens. That's it. But now that's a new account. Okay, let's check here the contract address, because we need to probably to transfer one COTI to this address to have some balance in order to use it. So yeah, let's transfer one COTI to this address here so that I can start using it.
And otherwise you could revoke this one and allow the other one you already have to spend on behalf.
Exactly. I can actually do that. Yep. Yeah, it's trying to transfer from my previous account that's less than one COTI. So it's transferring 0.9. Yeah. At
least it's persistent.
Yeah, great. Let's check the balance of the spender. Yeah, so it correct me. Instead of transfer to one, let's transfer less than one, because we don't have enough balance to transfer. It's important to mention, I'm granting permissions to Claude to execute all the transactions without approval, right? So we need to be very careful with that if you are running it on production, because otherwise, Claude can guess something for you and can start sending real transactions to the blockchain. And you need to be careful about that.
So is there any toggle button or something like you can stop auto permission or?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, there is a way to do that. Let me check here on the settings. I think we cannot see my screen now. Okay, I will show you later because I need to switch the screens. Let me go back here. This account is ready to use the approved allowance to transfer demo tokens from your account. Let me list all accounts again, just to have an overview of everything that we did so far. We should have here 3 different accounts. Yeah, exactly that. We have a default account holding 1,000 demo tokens. We have a third one that we created now to use it as an spender account, right? That we have 0.9 COTI. And this account have a permission to spend 100 demo tokens from account 2. That's good. We have here a good overview. So what I should do now, I should change the default account from account 2 to account 3 and try to transfer 100 tokens from account 2, right? So switch to account 3 and transfer 100 demo tokens from account 2. Let's review. I think it's that. Okay, switch to account 3 and transfer 100 demo tokens from account 2 because I have allowance to do that. Okay, so let's test that. Let's send this prompt and let's see. Switching to account 3 and then transferring now 100 demo tokens. Okay, it called the change default account. Now it's transferring. Let's check. Okay, successful. Let's verify the balance. Okay, now Claude is doing the work for me to call the balance. It's checking the balance of the account 2 and probably the account 3, right? Yeah, we forgot to generate the AS key for the account 3, so Claude is doing it for me now. Because in order to check the balance, we need to decrypt the balance, right? So we need an AS key to do that. And that's really amazing because it's doing all the work for me. It's guessing right what I need to do. It's good. Even that the fact that I forgot to generate the AS key. So yeah, the transfer operation was successful. Let's see the summary. Account 3 transferred 100 demo tokens from account 2 to itself. Okay. Now we have was received. Okay, tokens, but needs a proper AS key setup. Okay, let me check that. We have 100 demo tokens on our account 3. That's correct. I don't think this balance is correct because we transferred, right, 100, so it should be 900 here, right? Probably need to call the balance again, switch to account 2 and get the token balance again. Changing account. Yeah, something got wrong, I think, because on my mind it should be like 900, right? Let's check the transfer
Maybe we have
here.
transferred from another account.
Probably, yeah.
I'm thinking if I read it that because you also
The
change the default,
recipient.
it's trying to send to itself maybe. If the default is 3 and it needs to end up at 3.
Yeah, checking the token balance of this account. Oh yes, I probably transfer it to a different account. Okay. No, this is the account 3. Okay, this is correct. It should be, you should have 100 here. Let's check.
Or we can also check the transaction has, if it will show the parameters.
Okay, because here I'm trying to get the balance of a different account. It's different than the account that I'm connecting to, and that's the reason why I cannot decrypt it, because I need to connect with the right account to see the balance. It shows it's correct, right? I cannot see the balance of that account that I'm not connected to. Let me list all accounts again, so to have a overview again of all of them. Allowance account 3 to account 2. So this is the 3. We have the correct. Okay, we have the correct here. This is the account 2. So switch to account 2 and check the token balance.
Wait, do I read that correctly? I active allowance account 3 to account 2 for 100 demo tokens instead of the other way around?
Account
Shouldn't that
3
be
to
from-
account 2.
So shouldn't it be the other way around? That the allowance should allow for sending tokens from 2 to 3?
Account 2 still holds 1000 tokens. Okay, let's do it again. Let's approve. We are now connecting to, let's see which account we are connecting to now. Let's check the default, this account here. That's C61. Yeah, we are connected to account 2. That's correct. So, and we need to approve the account 3 to expand 100 tokens, right? So let's approve account 3. To spend. Let's change the value now just to avoid confusion. 200 demo tokens. So I'm connecting to account 3 to account 2, and I want to approve account 3 to spend 200 demo tokens. So yeah, because the account 2 I have 1000. Let's do it again. When you start playing with multiple accounts, you start get some confused to handle all of them. But let's see then. I'm trying to approve the account 3. Okay, I will approve account 3 to spend 200 demo tokens from account 2, since we are currently on account 2. Okay. Then we switch to the account 3 and ask for transferring the tokens. Let's check here. Spender. Spender is correct. The owner, the spender, and the token. Okay. account 3 can now spend up to 200 demo tokens from account 2. So switch to account 3. Okay, we're now connected to account 3, and now let's transfer 200 demo tokens from account 2, right? Let's transfer 200 demo tokens from account 2. I'm connecting to account 3 now. Okay, let's do again.
Yeah, that's the problem. You didn't send the recipient. Now it is still gonna be transferring to account 3. So it's transferring from account 3 to account 3.
To account 3, yeah.
We need to say like transfer to account 1 maybe. Yeah, that's happened last time too.
Ah, that's it. It's transferred to the same. Yes, exactly that. For an account 2 is an account 3 allowance. Since we want to transfer from account 2, not account 3, we get specify a recipient. So the recipient here is 0x9 F3. That's exactly the account 3. Let me get the account 2 here, just to be very specific about the transfer 200 demo tokens. If I use from, he's using. Yeah,
Like,
I know. Yeah, that's.
you can say like
should be
currently we are
released.
connected with the account 2, right?
Now we are connected to account 3. Yeah, account 3. We are in account 3. But we have allowance from account 2 to expand 200 demo tokens. Yeah, I got it wrong. I think something related to the parameter here. That's the.
So what does the current balance say?
recipient. Yeah, the recipient, because it's using the account 3 again instead of using the recipient as account 2. To the recipient, let me paste here exactly the account address of the recipient that I want. Yeah, we probably need to add more context to the docs so that the Claude can guess better how to handle that, right?
This time it understands.
Yeah, because of the name, the recipient address, that means not probably the best name to use in this tool. But now I think it works. Yeah. Yeah, let's get the RC20 balance of the account 2 now. Let's wait. Okay, you cannot get the balance of the other account because it's encrypted. As I'm in the account 3, let's get my token balance now. This is the current default account. Okay, the balance shows is unable to decrypt. Account 3 has some demo tokens.
Actually, we are connected with the account 2.
Okay. Switch to account 3. So we are in account 3. You need to get the balance of the ERC20 token.
Could it be that it forgot the AIS key you generated earlier?
Yes, could be. Yeah. I will ask to regenerate the S key. We were in the count 3, yeah. Let's wait to see that time, if you can get the correct balance. If not, I will ask to regenerate the S key.
Because usually, like, Claude remembers the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Up to a point.
Yeah. Regenerate. Okay, it's doing automatically for me. Okay.
I heard a commentator say, don't treat LLMs like a tool, but treat it like a colleague. And this is a very helpful colleague. Yeah. Thinking along. Yeah.
Okay, it generated the S key for the account. Let me switch back to account 1 just to check something related to the tool itself, or is something related to the account. And then we can move forward to the NFT. So because I want to show some examples of deploying the NFT as well, switch to account 2 and get your ERC20 balance. Changing to account 2. And get private ERC20 balance. Okay. Yeah, for account 2, the balance, it seems to be working. So yeah, something with the account 3 maybe. Yeah, meet the total supply. Okay, it's freezing. I think something went wrong with Claude. May we start a new conversation with Claude, because as we start like asking things, start taking longer to have answers. And now,
I think the context has increased.
yeah.
But that has nothing to do with the MCP, right? It's more to do with the limitations of
No, it has to
Claude.
do with the, yeah, it's not related to the MCP itself. Yeah, let me open the cloud again because it's not responding.
Maybe also you are using the free version. That's why.
May should be the cause because we're not going to, I mean, interact well with the result. I don't know. Let's start again with the new context here. And now let's move to the NFTs, so we can have some time to show you how to deploy NFTs. So let's start by create a new private NFT called, let's say, demo NFT with symbol DNFT, right? So we also have some tools that allows you to create NFTs on COTI and minting new tokens. So first thing, we need to deploy a new private ERC 721 contract. Okay, that's okay. It's already deployed. I have the contract address here. What I can do now, I can mint some tokens to my account. So let's do that. Mint. In that case, not tokens, but NFTs, right? So let's mint a new NFT. And now, in order to mint NFT, I need to provide a token URI. So I need to pass the metadata to the mint in order to have like all the properties, values, the image, everything else inside the metadata. So it's different from the ERC20 token. The NFT, I need to provide this metadata. So I already have one here that I got from Moonbirds. So let's try with this URI. Okay, let me open it on the browser so you can see the content of this metadata. Let me switch here to another screen. Yep. Yeah, this is basically the content of the link that I'm passing to the mint method. I'm passing here a JSON containing the name, the image, some attributes, as you can see. So I'll use that as an example to mint an NFT on COTI because we already have here existing metadata for that. But it's simple like that. It's just like a JSON. So you can upload it on your server or you can upload it on the IPFS if you want. And you can use this new address to point to the metadata. Let me go back to the cloud here. Okay, so that's exactly the link that I'm referring here. That's the metadata. So I will mint a new NFT with this URI. It's calling now the mint private ERC 721 token. As you can see, it's passing exactly the parameters from the prompt. That's it. We have now a token ID 0. That's the first one in our collection. And now we have the token created. Yes, what we can see now, what we can do now, we can get the token metadata, basically asking, for example, check the metadata URI of our NFT to see what data it contains. Now it will try to retrieve that. from the token ID 0. Okay. It's also trying to fetch this link, right? But it's something that the cloud will try to do. It's not something on the MCP side. On the MCP side, we just provide here the URI. That's a string, right? And this is important because this is an encrypted value. So if you can see it now, it's because our account was able to decrypt this information and show it to us. That's the only way to see this, because it's a private 721, so the metadata is encrypted, right? So it confirms that I can decrypt it, so I can see this link. And I can also, check the content using the browser, or maybe some AI editors will try to fetch it and show you the content, but it's not the role of the MCP, right? Of the COTI MCP. Okay, let's now, for example, ask for the token owner. So who is the token owner of the token ID 0? I can also
you can
ask
see
that.
you can see the private metadata because you are the collection owner, let's say the creator.
Yeah, because I minted to myself, to my own account, and that's the reason why I can see the metadata. If I switch to a different account and I try to get this, I won't be able to decrypt it. So it shows like special characters, so I won't be able to see that. Same thing with the ERC20 tokens. When you try to get the balance of the ERC20 tokens, you cannot decrypt it if you're not the owner, right? So I cannot decrypt the balance of the others' accounts, just my account. And that makes sense because it's a private token, and the same happens with the NFTs. But in that case, is the metadata is the most important information here to be encrypted. So okay, this is the token owner. That's correct. It's my account. So I'm the token owner of the token ID 0. I can also ask for the balance. So I can ask, for example, check how many NFTs my account has. Well, here it's the first time. What happens here is the first time I'm calling this tool using Claude. It needs prompt me to allow always or allow once. Why is the first time I'm seeing that? Because I was using the COTI MCP before, and I already selected the allow always, and that's the reason why the other times that I'm created ERC20 or tokens, I couldn't see this prompt, but now it's asking to approve. And this is important just to avoid the cloud or any other AI tools sending transactions for you without assistant, without supervision. So here I will click on allow always, and I have one NFT. That's correct. I just minted one, so I have just one NFT on my wallet. So I also can ask for the total supply of all the NFTs of this specific collection, right? So I can ask for check how many NFTs exist in total in our collection. So not just mine, but all the other NFTs that I minted. In that case, it should be 1, because the total supply is 1 and my balance is also 1. that's okay. So we have just one NFT. So 100% of the collection is on my wallet. Okay. As I created another conversation with Claude, let's list all accounts again. It's important to mention that if I create a new account here on Claude, it's the temporary account. I won't be able to, because it's a environment variable that I'm adding new accounts. So if I start a different conversation with Claude, I will lose the context. So I won't be able to access those accounts that I created. And that's the reason why we create an export accounts. So if we are creating new accounts here on Claude and we want to reuse that accounts in other operations, in different contexts, or even in different tools, AI tools, you can export the existing accounts in JSON format. And you can also import those accounts using JSON format. So what I can do, for example, I can export all accounts. And it will provide me like a JSON with all of them, including the private keys, right? So I will show here because it's just test accounts, right? But we can have like a JSON like that, then I can copy and paste, right? And I can import those accounts if I want. So import, for example, import this account, and I will paste this JSON, and it will import this account again to this MCP context, or it will merge if this account already exists. In that case, it will merge. So I will continue having one account because it's exactly the same account that I exported. But it's nice to, if you want to preserve that information, sometimes you create account that you want to reuse it, and then you need to export it. It's very important because otherwise you won't be able to recover it again, because all the private key, the AS key, all the sensitive information will be in the context of your conversation. So you need to export it if you want to reuse it.
And is all this, let's say, client-side generated in your local browser?
Good question. No, it's generated on the server. So it's on Smithery side because it's running on Smithery servers. So if you are creating a new account, it's creating this account on the Smithery server, and it's, showing it to you. For production environments, I don't recommend to create accounts using prompts, right? Because it's not secure. You are generating it on the external server. The prompt is printed. Will print the private key on the conversation. It's just for test nets, right? As you are doing now, and as a playground, so you can start getting familiar with these account creations and account operations, but don't use that for production to create new accounts here for production, right? You will never know. If you export accounts here, you are like saving, this JSON on some folder. So it's not like the best practices for handling private keys. But for testnets, it is not a problem. You can just start creating as many accounts as you want to test. And it's good. It facilitates a lot your work on doing that. Another good feature here is you can call any function on any smart contract, because we have like a call contract function. That's a generic function. All the other functions here that I showed is basically pre-coded. When I ask for get the balance of the ERC20 token, I have a tool that get the balance of the ERC token, right? But if I want to call, let's say, a read-only function, let's say I want to just get the symbol of the contract, but I don't have a tool that get the ERC20 symbol or the 721 symbol, I can just call a custom function that you do that. Let's test it now. For example, call a function on let's check if I deployed here, because I created a new conversation. Okay, I deployed NFT, right, on our NFT contract. Let's check that show us the symbol, the NFT symbol, right? Let's say if Claude will guess the parameters. Okay, the contract address, the function name, and the args. In that case, yeah, the problem here is that we need to provide the ABI, right? So look at that. It's very interesting because first the Claude tries to call the symbol with the contract address with no arguments, but couldn't determine the contract type and the ABI. And then Claude tries to provide the ABI. So the Claude basically generated the ABI for me, guessing, the ABI, but it was correct. So I was able to see the NFT symbol correctly. So this is the reason why we created this call contract function. For any other situation that we are not covering yet in the tool, or if you have a custom deployed contract on COTI, you can provide like the ABI and the function name, the parameters, and the contract address, and you can get this information for you. And also the AI can help you to build the ABI. So for simple examples like that, the Claude created the ABI for us. So this is the call contract function. We can also assign and verify signatures, right? This is another option that you can have with the tool. For example, why we use like the signing and the verifying signatures, for example, to provide to proving account ownership, right? So if you're interacting with a smart contract, a DApp, or even an API that needs to verify you own a certain address, right? But without exposing your private key, you can sign a message to create a sign-in message using your private key. But in order to verify the message, you can let someone just you can just pass right the signature and the message that we're expecting to be signed by the owner, and you can see if it matches the correct signature. So you can prove that you are the owner of an address by signing and verifying signatures. You can do that with our MCP tool. So let's test that, right? Sign a message using my current account to prove ownership of our account. Let's see how Claude will handle that. So yeah, first time in calling it, so I need to allow this operation. So I own this COTI account and created the demo NFT collection and a timestamp. So let's see. This is the first time I'm testing that, bro. So okay, it's working. Yeah, great, because here you can see the signature. So my account signed this message and it resulted in a signature. Let's see if something. Okay, that's correct. So I have the message, I have the signature, and I have the account address. Okay. You can control. Okay, you're right. I can control the private key of this address. This message was signed at a specific timestamp. Only someone with access to the private key could have created this signature, right? So this is the thing here. Anyone can verify the signature using the original message and your account address to confirm that you own this account. And here Claude is recommend me. Would you like me to demonstrate this verification process as well? So let's just say yes. Okay, original message, signature. And I pass here. Okay, here, unfortunately, we have some errors here with the verify signature. Yeah, probably it's not exposing the metadata of this tool on the our MCP. That's because here it's trying to, yeah, sorry about that, but we will fix that. But the idea behind it is basically you can sign your message using your account, and you can provide the signature and the message you sign it to a external tool that will verify the signature, and then you in that way you can prove that you have access to that account. But so yeah, so yes, we will fix that. Just the verify signature. We have something wrong here with the tool, and basically those are the tools that I have to here on the to show to you today. Also, I don't know if in the chat we have some questions, but I got some questions before the live stream, so I just want to read one of those. So one of them is like, if is MCP something that replaces APIs? It's a very common question. So the answer is not exactly, because it builds on top of the APIs, right? But it has like a context-aware communication, and it follows a specific standard, right? It's not like a traditional API. We need to follow a specific standard so that the AI agents can connect and know how to connect with your API. And the best way to learn how to do that is by cloning our COTI MCP repository and start playing with it. So you know how to adding new tools and how the existing tools works actually. And yeah, that's exactly another question that I got is like, how does an AI agent know which MCP tool to call? So that's basically the magic, right? that you have. It depends on the context of the request. The model basically matches user intent, right, to the tool metadata and the endpoint definitions. That's exactly what we are talking earlier with Opendra. It depends on the specifications that you added in your tool. So we need to be very careful on adding, for example, documentation and examples for each parameter of the tool, so that the AI can have a best guess on how to pass the parameter, right? For example, in the case of the amount, we are passing like the amount in way. So we need to specify that we are expecting way, right? Otherwise, the AI cannot like know how to pass the correct value. So it depends on the tool, the MCP tool side. You need to use very good like parameter names and add documentation and examples to help on that. Yeah, in regarding the standard, I mean, MCP follows structured format. I can say, I mean, it's like similar to other standards that we have in the market, like the OpenAI or OpenAPI, but it's designed specifically for the AI use cases. So yeah, basically you need to define clear inputs, clear outputs, and add as much, context and tools that cover the situations, the use case situations you want to cover. You need to, create tools for that. And yeah, basically that's, let's see if I have another one here. Let's check. Yeah, anyone can build MCP tools. I mean, it's not, it's a public standard. So you can create your own MCP and use it locally. Actually, you can do it locally if you want. You can just run it on your terminal and connect the Cloud or Cursor Windsurf using your localhost for that. You can also use it in commercial application as well. You can see a lot of commercial application using this kind of MCP, copilots, developer assistants. So, for example, in order to change your local files or to add more methods to your project, you need access, right, to your files, and you need some mechanism to connect to your local machine and do that. So that's where we have this gap between like the AI tool and the external world, right? You need to fit this with MCP. And the computation, exactly the question that we are asking before regarding the computation. If you are using a cloud MCP, all the computation will be on cloud. That's the example that we are running here, is on cloud. But if I decided to clone the repository and run it locally, of course, all the computation will happen locally on your machine. I think that's it that I have here. I encourage everyone to start using it and actually to start like exploring our MCP repository. Let me show again here on the Smithery. So that let me switch back here to.
Yes, because you mentioned anyone could contribute.
Exactly. So you can, here on Smithery, you can have access to the GitHub repository. So you can start exploring the existing code. Here you can check, for example, the tools. All the tools that we mentioned in this live stream today, we can find it here. So the change default account, create account, export, the native operations, transaction operations, ERC 721, ERC 20. You can get, and here we are exactly talking about it. That's the metadata. We have here, for example, the name of this tool, a description, and the schema. So the token address, the owner address, spender address, and here we can add more context in the description if needed. So we can also, set good names for the parameters, but also we can put more, information, add more documentation to it to help because the cloud will connect with the tool using those informations here, right? The cloud will read those informations in order to know how to pass the parameters based on the prompt that you provided. They will try to, you mentioned about the token address. I already have the token address in my context because we already deployed the contract. So I will pass this to the tool. And in that way, the AI will connect with the tool. But only on the MCP side, we are just like providing in schema tools. We provide the tool name, the tool description, the input schema, and also we need to provide the implementation for that, right? So that the tool knows how to do that allowance, for example, and all the methods. But the good thing is that you can create anything here. I'm connecting to COTI, but you can use it to connect to any other API, for example, if you want to connect to an external API to get some codes for, anything. And that's the cool about the MCP, because you have that flexibility of creating anything. And actually, if you go to Smithery, for example, it's one of the hubs, you can check more than 7,000 different skills, different MCPs that you can use. So Supabase, you have GitHub as well. So you can connect to GitHub account and get, all the information that you need to create pull requests for you, for example. So that's the same logic. You are creating things that can connect to the outside world, to the outside tools, and bring those features inside the AI editor that you are using. So it's really cool. And so far, that's the only MCP that we have. That's the the one that we created. And if you want, you can also use the playground that's available here. If you don't have like the Claude, or if you want just to test it, you can use this playground here. Let me check if I will be able to connect here. Yeah. And this playground will connect with the tool that you selected. In that case, it will connect with the COTI blockchain MCP, right? And you can also use this playground. I mean, this is another tool that you can use to play with the COTI blockchain. Because it's in a standard, so it doesn't matter if you are using Claude, if you are using Smithery, if you are using Cursor, Windsurf, you are be able to connect with the MCP through that standard, and that's the beauty of this. So yeah, you can also check it on Smithery playground and play with it. Okay, all right, that's all what I have for today. I'm not sure if I have any questions, any comments.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And sorry, Robert. But I think I'm the first who is going to check out this MPC repository. I think it's really cool, and definitely it works. And I still have one question, like the contract it has deployed, the ERC20 contract or 721. Is it the contract we are providing some standard contract behind, or we are fetching something from the blockchain?
Yeah, good question. This regarding the 721 and the ERC20. I got some examples from the COTI repository, the COTI templates. We have templates for private ERC20 and private ERC 721. So what I basically did, I generated the bytecode, right, from those different contracts, and I'm using that bytecode to deploy those contracts on COTI. So they are like predefined contracts, standard ones. So it allows us to create contracts as is based on those standards with no customizations. So if you need some customization, yes, we need to go, for example, to Hardhat, to Foundry, and you need to extend the contract and deploy it, this contract there. But if you want to just start playing with standard one with no customization, you can use the COTI MCP to do that. But yeah, I'm using those contracts. I use the COTI templates as reference for that. But they are really, I mean, plain contracts, having like mint, owner of, transfer, all these standard, I mean, functions with no new extra thing.
Okay, so like anyone can play with the ERC20 and 721 from here, but to create some real token or an NFT, they need to check the contract and deploy, and like at least check the security of the contract and deploy by there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have some live streams covering how to create like new contracts on COTI that you can check it out on our YouTube channel. And actually, why not? We can improve the MCP maybe in the future to allow you to, I mean, extend contracts and deploying it. It's like a live. In this live, we're just covering what we have so far, but the idea is to add new things to this tool in the future, because we need to also understand what the community, I mean, is asking in terms of functionalities. If you have a huge demand for something specific, we can add it to the MCP and cover that. But for custom contracts now, you need to use Hardhat, Foundry, and if you want standard ones, you can use COTI MCP to facilitate all the process for you, because you don't need to install, or even you don't need to understand how to create or build or deploy a contract using Foundry and Hardhat. It's a barrier for you. You can start by using the COTI MCP. If you are more familiar with the Solidity and with all those tools, you can start by using them. But if you are a beginner, I recommend you to start by using the COTI MCP to deploy and play with it.
Definitely.
That was actually a question I had. Of course, I have some announcements, of course, about our upcoming streams as well. But I was wondering, with MCP providing a context for beginners, would you expect this to provide a speed up of the iteration process for deployment of new COTI dApps? Because it's easier to experiment faster.
Yeah, you can also, one thing that I actually experimented was like connecting the COTI MCP with the Windsurf. And for example, we can create your DApp, but you can use the COTI MCP, for example, to deploy, your private ERC20 token. And you can also create your account using the MCP. And you can facilitate the process of development the app on testnet. So you can run your MCP side by side with your editor, the Windsurf, for example, or Cursor, and you can take advantage of the use of the MCP for that in order to do like these operations, simple operations, and also to test your contract. Once you have your even though it's like a custom contract, once you deploy it to the testnet and you have the ABI, you can provide the ABI to the AI, and you can call like the methods and try to interact with your contract using the MCP. So it's also useful if you are creating something at the app or something new. It's not just like, for example, in Claude, we are doing like a solo work. We are just asking Claude to do things, but we are not creating, right, any application. We are just asking Claude to help us interacting with a contract. So I recommend like using this MCP with we can actually maybe set up a future live stream using the COTI MCP with Cursor and Windsurf, and helping you creating your DApp using the COTI MCP. So it's a good tool to, to facilitate, even for beginners, that creation process, not just the discovering process, but also the creation of a new app. That's it. Go ahead.
One doubt I also had, I just remember, like if I ask, if I go on the Claude and just ask Claude some random question regarding the COTI, while our MCP is connected with the Claude, if Claude gonna understand, do it need to use this MPC server right now or go for the web to search it? How it works?
Yeah, that's a good question, because it's happens all behind scenes. It's not exactly 100% clear. Of course, it's part of the AI editor, how to do that. But for example, it's the AI decision. Based on your prompt, you evaluate your prompt and check if the answer you better using our tools to answer your question, or if they need to go to a website, search for it or not. We have no control on the COTI MCP side regarding that. It's basically all controlled by, in our example, by Claude, for example. Claude, you evaluate your question and see if it's best to call our tool or not. It could also call any other tool, right? I'm just connected with COTI in the example, but for example, I can add any other tool. I can have more than 10, 20, 50 tools connected. So the AI will evaluate that and see, okay, based on all the tools that we have here, is there any tool that can answer this question best? Okay, I will connect to this tool and I will send this to this tool. Otherwise, they will try to do it by the traditional way, right? giving you the answer. But yeah, we have no control. Actually, when we started creating the MCP, when we have like just few tools, sometimes I ask the AI to do something, and the AI tries to go to the internet and get the answer. For example, the balance. So before adding the balance support in the MCP, if you ask the AI for balance, the AI will try to find, some website or go somewhere to get the balance for, or try to instruct you to go or go to the COTI website or go to the COTI block explorer and check that. And but that's it. It's behind scenes. We cannot see exactly how the decision is made, but it has to do with the metadata that we are providing. You first check that to see if it fits, and then we call this tool. But yeah, it's interesting. So sometimes, depending the prompt that you're typing, if you're not clear enough, the AI will try to, instead of using the tool, do something else, right? You need to be very clear on what you are trying to achieve to the AI, so that it can found exactly the right tool to answer the question.
Yeah, so which means MCP can be how best MCP you are using. It also depends on the prompt and the AI tool you are connecting with, how efficiently it works, right?
Yeah. And also, for example, if I connect two different COTI MCPs, it can be something confusing, right? If someone else creates like a new COTI MCP and I try to connect both, can sometimes call my MCP or the other's MCP. It also depends much of how many tools that you have and the context of them, right? I just have one COTI MCP that answer from, COTI side. It can be sometimes confused if you start adding a lot of similar MCPs that do exactly or almost the same. They can sometimes switch between them, right? Because they don't know exactly which one is the best. It depends on, the context and the metadata and the prompt that you are providing.
Yeah, there might be a challenge for curation there in the future.
Yeah.
For any blockchain project.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Okay, go ahead.
No, I wanted to thank you first of all for taking us through this today. I think I was surprised by, like you mentioned, how universally applicable MCP as a package is. Let's say curated, but for now at your own repo. Looking forward to see any forks, of course, from the community or additions and expansions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also wanted to announce that at the time of this broadcast, we have a next physical meetup coming up this Friday. It will take place in Bangkok. If you are in Thailand or around, feel free to reach out. You can find more information on the Stay COTI website. We have next week, we have a course on Replit with Rafa, Percival, and Henry diving in on how to build on COTI with Replit. And then we also have that week a session on building a private donations DApp. And Upendra is going to be in the lead for that one. And I'm really looking forward to that one. So cool. More information, of course, to be found on stay.coti.io.
Cool. Okay. So huge thanks to everyone who joined it, especially for you, Robert and Upendra, for sharing their time and for asking questions. And thank you all for tuning in live and being part of this growing ecosystem that's COTI. So yeah, that's it. Until next time, keep building, keep exploring, and let the AI do more than just talk to you. And see you soon. Stay COTI.
Thank you. Thank you,
stay
everyone.
COTI.
Yeah, stay COTI.